Hello, everyone, and welcome back to a wonderful episode of Sporting Perspective. We are in week 4 of the college football season. I can't believe we've already gotten to this point. And we saw some great games here in week 3, so we're not going to waste any time. James, I'm going to kick it over to you as we recap week 3.
Yeah, I can't believe that we're starting week 4. It's just flying by. So I had a fun Friday night. I got to watch the Wildcats get a win over the Wildcats, and that's U of A over Kansas State for anyone that's not understanding that. So nice, nice 3-0 start for my Arizona Wildcats. Never thought that would be the case. I thought for sure we'd get blasted by K State, but K State does not look good. So I'm gonna toss it over to you for 2 seconds because I'm curious. With K State now 1-2, and your pick to win the Big 12, which they still can, they're 0-1 because that loss against Ohio or Iowa State was a Big 12 game. Are you still backing them to win the conference, or do you want to change your pick?
No, I'll take either Utah or Iowa State at this point.
Okay.
Yeah, Kansas State's done. They're actually really bad. They're really bad.
Yeah, one thing
So
about them that I think is very strange is that their quarterback, Avery Johnson, super athletic, not the best thrower of the football. He's a good runner. And that offensive coordinator just doesn't want him to run. It's the weirdest thing. But hey, I'll take it because my team got the victory.
it's one of the weirdest things, and I'm sure this is going to come up on a lot of your notes coming up here. But I saw a video earlier this past weekend. You had NCAA College Football 26 had their top 20 quarterbacks preseason and like rankings and stuff like that,
Hmm.
and that thing is in shreds at this point. Like 15 of the top 20 guys that they had at the beginning of the season are either off to horrific starts or not even meeting expectation. There's a couple guys that they're not even starting anymore. It's wild, but
Jeez.
it just shows you the unpredictability of college football.
Well, and I honestly I didn't even put Arch Manning was someone I didn't even put down in my notes, but I know obviously just the name alone he's going to be in
Yep.
the news, but he yeah, I don't know about him. He's having I mean it's starting to become a problem. Like, week 1 it's like okay, you played at Ohio State, we'll give you, is what it is. Week 2 he rebounds, and then this past week he wasn't like fantastic. So Texas fans are kind of like, what's the deal, man? Like, are you really this good, or
Yep.
is this a mirage?
Um,
Anyways, back to the notes I put down. We saw IU, Indiana. They obliterated their in-state rival, Indiana State, 73-0. Fun fact from that game: Fernando Mendoza threw 5 touchdowns. Now you think to yourself, oh, 5 touchdowns. People have done that before. And you're right. Yeah, people have done that before in a game. He threw 5 touchdowns in the first half. So I just thought that was pretty. Which I'm sure maybe some. I mean, that has to have been done before. But still, 5 touchdowns in the first half. That's a big deal. He's a Cal transfer too. So IU's looking to be back to being pretty good. UCLA paid UNM to come to Pasadena, and UNM won. UCLA is in the shitter. I know we talked about them last week. They're not good. Nico made a bad business decision. I made that comment last week. Well, Deshaun Foster got canned, so they're gonna be looking for a new head coach in the offseason because I'm assuming they probably just elevated a coordinator to interim. I don't know. They're not in the Pac-12. I mean, the Pac-12 is gone basically, so I don't care much about UCLA anymore. And it seems like a lot of their fans don't either. If you saw the picks from the game, LSU beat Florida thanks to 5 interceptions from their defense. That is wild. I thought, we talked about Florida being someone that could be somewhat decent in the SEC. Their quarterback is DJ Callaway. Not good. 5 interceptions in the game is bad. Obviously, their head coach is the talk of the town. Yeah, they have a lot to figure out. And Another thing that I think is interesting is that Miami, Florida is this week, and it's game day, and they're not even going to be on our top 5 games of the week. That's how bad Florida is.
Yeah.
Um, but going back to that LSU Florida game, the one thing I did find pretty funny is after the game, there was a reporter who just got absolutely annihilated from Brian Kelly. He asked a question about Brian Kelly's offense and just got ripped apart. So if you haven't seen that video, go check it out. It's definitely one that's going to be, memeified for probably for years to come. I mean, Brian Kelly just went off on this poor guy. We saw Miami humble USF in a battle of two ranked teams, which was broadcast on the CW network, which is a little weird. We saw Georgia beat Tennessee in overtime, and it was a shootout. There was basically zero defense. Tennessee actually had an opportunity to win at the end, and their kicker missed it. So it went in overtime, and Georgia pulled out the victory in Knoxville. We saw Texas A&M win in South Bend thanks to a botched snap. The backup quarterback for Notre Dame just mishandled it, and that was the difference in the game. Honestly, Texas A&M, to me, didn't play all that well. Notre Dame played all that much worse. The big takeaway I have, Notre Dame's still ranked 24 and they're 0-2. I don't understand that at all. That makes zero sense to me. Al Golden left for the NFL. He was their defensive coordinator last year, and defense has been their big issue, along with an inexperienced quarterback. We saw Vandy upset South Carolina. I mean, and they not only did they upset them, they just completely destroyed them. They held South Carolina to 7 points. Their quarterback, Diego Pavia, is turning into like being one of my favorite guys to watch. He's a baller. Like, he's fun. Another upset we saw Georgia Tech upset Clemson on literally a fire drill field goal. So that was kind of cool to watch. When it comes to ACC quarterbacks, Haynes King, I think, is maybe minus Carson Beck the best quarterback in that conference. Clemson looks really bad. I saw a stat on Twitter that their offense is equivalent to like Iowa. So Clemson is just having a really bad year, and honestly, they just haven't really been the national championship contender for like the last 4 to 5 years. Like, sure, they've made the playoffs last year, but like they're not good. Their fans are going to probably start clamoring for Dabo Swinney, I would think, soon at this rate. We saw Bama absolutely stomp Wisconsin. So again, I'm put that out there to all Alabama fans. Just relax. I think things are going to be okay. Also, if you want to highlight, go watch one of Ryan Williams' touchdowns. He absolutely just juked the hell out of a defender. And the last two I have, we saw West Virginia beat Pitt in the backyard brawl. Two unranked teams, two teams that honestly really aren't all that good, but that's a really fun rivalry. I think they're only they have to be less than 70 miles apart. But just a cool rivalry that they call the backyard brawl, and it lived up to it because it went into overtime and West Virginia won. So shout out to Rich Rodriguez. And last but not least, Tulane beats Duke. And why I put this one down here is because ex-BYU quarterback Jake Retzlaff, the dude who got kicked off the BYU team, ran in 4 touchdowns for Tulane. So I thought that was interesting. He was getting a lot of hype at BYU. Obviously, then had got kicked off. I can't remember exactly why. I don't remember if it was like sex related since it's a Mormon school, but whatever it was. Or you know what? Is it? Well, yeah, I don't know. Doesn't matter. He got kicked out of BYU or let go or whatever it happened, and yeah, he had a big time game over Duke and ran in 4 touchdowns. So those are my notes.
Cool. Well, let's move on to week 4. We've got 5 games that we want to highlight. It's a very interesting slate, and I think the first game we're going to talk about here is probably the best game of the weekend, or at least the most intriguing one for me. Number 17, Texas Tech, heading to Utah to take on the Utes at ranked number 16. Who do you got here? I think the key thing here is it's at Utah.
Well, that's what kind of led me to make Utah my pick. Yeah, they've gotten back to the Utah we saw from 2 years ago. They had kind of a down year last year. They're playing really good football right now. Not to say that Texas Tech isn't either, but yeah, I'm a big fan of what Utah's doing right now. So I'm taking Utah. I think that home crowd is going to be absolutely hyped. So yeah, I'm taking Utah at home.
Yeah, Utah's a hard place to play. I'm going to take Utah. Texas Tech has thrown around a lot of money, though. It's going to be close, but I think Utah wins. What does the simulation say?
Simulation had Texas Tech winning 31-17.
Interesting. Okay.
And shout out
Um,
to that Utah quarterback. I don't know why I cannot think of that guy's name. I'm looking it up real fast. He was a UNM transfer. Utah quarterback. Devin Dampier.
okay.
He's dual threat dude. He's really good. Um, Honestly, it's something Utah hasn't had in a while because I can't think of the dude's. God, brain farting all day. They had that quarterback for like 7 years, it seemed like, but he could never get
Cam
on
Rising. Cam
Rising.
Rising.
Right. Well,
Yeah.
at least now they have Dampier, and Dampier looks like the real deal.
Yeah. All right, another top 25 matchup, the Jackson Arnold rematch game, basically, or a revenge game. Number 22, Auburn heading to Oklahoma. They're ranked number 11. Who do you got?
I'm taking OU at home. I just think John Mateer is the real deal, and he, mark my words, will be in the final final four,
Mhm.
final three. I can't remember what the finals are. He'll be a Heisman. He'll be at the Heisman ceremony. I think John Mateer is a dude, and those are the type of guys you need in college and at your quarterback position. So, yeah, I'm taking Oklahoma, especially because they're at
Yeah.
home too.
Yeah, I'm not going to add much to that. I'm also taking Oklahoma for a lot of the same reasons. I was actually going to say the same thing about the Heisman watch. So, yeah, I am going to take Oklahoma. I expect it to be kind of an ugly game, though. Not a lot of scoring is my prediction. What does the simulation say?
Simulation has Oklahoma winning 33-27.
Okay, cool. Heading over to the Big Ten, 21 Michigan, heading to Lincoln, Nebraska to take on the Cornhuskers. Who do you got?
I really want to take Nebraska, but it seems like in a lot of these big games, they just can't ever get themselves hyped up enough to actually pull off the victory. I'm taking Michigan on the road mainly because of their defense and their run game. Bryce Underwood is a freshman, but he's showing that he can at least run the ball if the pass isn't open. And then you got Justice Haynes, the running back, who's having a good season. I don't know. Nebraska's a lot of hype. I know college football can be better when Nebraska's good. They have the dude. Their quarterback is like, mini Patrick Mahomes. They're 3-0 and they're playing good football, but I just can't see them beating Michigan quite yet. They're still kind of the little brother to Michigan, so I'm taking Michigan on the road.
I actually am going to take Nebraska. I like the quarterback there. I like how they've been playing. Michigan's offense has been pretty suspect all season. I know they've had a couple hard games, but a couple easy games too, where they just haven't really scored. So I know that offense can kind of go into mute. And this is Nebraska's year. They have to show that they can win games. If they don't, that coaching staff could be in trouble. So I'm going to take Nebraska here, and it'll be one of the biggest home victories they've had in a while, to say the least. Another Big Ten matchup: number 9 Illinois heading to number 9.
Simulation.
Oh, simulation, yeah,
Simulation has this game being a dogfight and very low scoring. Has Michigan winning 17-15.
low scoring. As I said, another Big Ten matchup: number 9 Illinois heading to number 19 Indiana.
Yeah, I'm taking Indiana for two reasons. One, it's my mother's alma mater, and two, I'm a big fan of Fernando Mendoza, the Cal transfer. Indiana's playing good football. They're at home. Primarily, they're a basketball school. Last year, they decided, you know what? We're sick of only being a basketball school. And even as a basketball school, we haven't really been a basketball school. So we're a football school now. So I'm taking IU at home.
I'm actually going to take Illinois here. I could go either way. I'm going to edge towards Illinois. I think they're a little bit more prepared. Indiana's had a very cupcake schedule up to this point. This is really their first test to show what they're really like. Illinois has played some decent teams up to this point, so I think they're just better prepared. I'm going to take Illinois. Simulation.
This is a good quarterback matchup too. Simulation has IU winning 20-13.
Which IU?
Good call. Indiana.
Okay.
I think Illinois is technically would be University of Illinois.
Yeah, just in case. Yeah.
But yes,
Yeah.
Indiana 20-13.
Okay. Last matchup that we've got here. Michigan State heading to LA to take on number 25 USC.
I'm taking USC. I don't think this will be very much of a close game. I think it's more of a name brand matchup at this point. Michigan State's not really what they've been used to in the past. Not that USC has either, but I think USC at home, and at least the football I've seen out of USC this year, I think they win at least by 2 touchdowns. So I'm taking USC at home.
Yeah, not much to add there. I feel a lot, very much the same. I'll take USC. Does the simulation agree?
Simulation has USC winning 26-24.
Not closer than I expected. That line's like 18 at this point. So,
Yeah,
um,
there were just no
yeah,
other games. I mean,
yeah,
I guess we could have done the Miami Florida game, which
yeah.
I don't know. Miami's only favored by, I think last I saw, like 6 or something. To me, that seems like easy money. Like if you want to get,
Yeah.
like, I get it's a rivalry. I get it's two in-state Florida schools. Uh,
It's a weird line.
it's a weird line. I
Yeah,
would hammer Miami -6. I don't know what it's
yeah,
at now, but I think Miami handily wins that game.
yeah. Well, let's put week 4 behind us. We have a fun top 5 category for this week. I think we'll show some of our personalities out of this one for sure. So this one is a very specific question of if you were the top high school recruits and you could go to any university to play current day, which college would you choose? So we're both going to list our top fives, give our reasons. James, you want to go first at top with your number 5?
Yeah. So with my number 5, and also just to put things in perspective, this is 18-year-old James today. So we'll say, obviously, we're both from Arizona, so we'll say we're at our Arizona high school. Where do we want to go? So I'm putting at number 5, I'm putting Arizona, putting University of Arizona. I grew up an Arizona fan. My entire family's are Arizona fans. I'd be the first ever 5-star recruit in Arizona history. Whatever position I'm playing, it doesn't matter. So if that's not a reason in and of itself to go and just like make history and be a reason to change that program, I don't know what else. So I'm putting my Arizona Wildcats at 5.
So for my number 5, I went Notre Dame. I think Coach Freeman would be a great player, great person to play under. Everything we've ever heard about him, it's fantastic. Obviously, the tradition out of that school is great, and Notre Dame is the name brand of name brands in college football. Um, so I had to include them in my top 5. So they're in 5. Who do you got 4?
At 4, I put Texas. Kind of the same reason you put Notre Dame. Name brand, and if you want to, in today's NIL um, era, Texas will probably pay me a lot of money with me being a 5-star kid. Austin's a really cool spot. The women in Texas are nice at their school. Just trying to think of different things 18-year-olds are looking at. Sark is obviously a very good head coach. You probably are going to be on national, not probably, you're going to be on national television for every single game you play. And you're probably going to a school like Texas, you're probably going to go to the NFL as well. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm going Texas. Especially the big reason for Texas is the money.
So amazingly, I have Texas as well at 4, and for almost exactly the same reasons. I really don't have anything to add. You basically took every single talking point.
Yeah.
Um, so I don't have anything to add. I got Texas at 4. Let's go to 3.
For my number 3, I put Hawaii. mainly just because, again, I doubt they've ever had a 5-star recruit. I didn't look it up, but I can't imagine they have. So you get to make history there. And honestly, I just think it'd be awesome to live in Hawaii. You get to live in Honolulu. You get to be, you know, literally the star of the show. There's no professional sports in basically on any of the islands in Hawaii, especially Honolulu. So, yeah, you're like the BMOC of the islands. You're a 5-star recruit. You go surfing during the day. Go to the beach. You're Hawaii living. So I put Hawaii at 3.
Okay, so we're thinking similarly here. At 3, I have Miami, Florida. Great place to live. Um, Mario Cristobal's there, great coach. Now the U is back. We're kind of getting back to that whole thing of this is a competitive team. Cam Ward was there last year, obviously drafted number 1. So you kind of get a little bit of everything that's great, but you're also living in a big city. The spotlight isn't necessarily crazy on you. But when the U is good, I've always said college football is better. And if you're a star at the U, the NFL is going to be calling. You can make a lot of money there. We know the NIL money is there for sure, and there's a lot of pride with that school. A lot of great NFL alum. So that would be my number 3.
So I'm going to take everything you just said and not say anything else because my number 2 is Miami.
All right, perfect. My number 2 is Ohio State. And the reason why I got 2 at Ohio State is kind of a lot of the things that we've already talked about, but I'm going to throw on top of it of 2 things. You're going to be playing for a national championship every year at this point. And on top of it, it seems like everyone out of that school goes to the NFL. I know it's not the case, but it feels like every single guy goes to the NFL. So that's Ohio State for me.
You're not wrong. My number 1 is LSU. The fans are absolutely crazy. You have a live mascot. You have an awesome, awesome stadium in Death Valley. I mean, I was kind of between LSU and Alabama at this point, but if Nick Saban was still at Alabama, probably would have picked them. Brian Kelly, the jury's out on what you think of him. Either you like him or you don't. But I think as a recruit, he's obviously a very good head coach. He is dying to win a national championship. I saw this year, 18-year-old 5-star recruit James Sargent just saw that they're spending tons of money on their football program. I want to go there, and I want to play, and I want to win a national championship for LSU. So I have LSU at 1.
LSU has crazy NIL money, and the school I'm about to mention also has crazy NIL money, and it's no surprise I'm picking Oregon. So, for obvious reasons, they're the team I always root for, so great stadium, money beyond belief, and now with Dan Lanning there, in my opinion, there's not a coach I'd rather play for. Dan Lanning's building something, or has built something pretty crazy up there in Eugene, and I think he's already shown his loyalty that he isn't going to leave that place. So
And you get a different uniform every week.
every week, yeah. But yeah, the amount of money that they've spent on that program and just their resources and everything across the board, and now on top of it, they also feel like they send so many guys to the NFL. So, but pretty solid top 5 for both of us. James, anything you want to say before we log off here?
I really got nothing. U of A is on a bye, so I can't even shout out my Wildcats.
Cool. Oregon's playing Oregon State. I think we're favored by 35, so that will be interesting.
Rivalry game, but I don't see that one being that close.
No, it's not going to be that close. Or it shouldn't be. All right. Well, guys, until tomorrow, we have the NFL Week 3 show tomorrow, so come jump in for that. Yeah, not much else to add. Until tomorrow. Guys, have a wonderful night. We'll see y'all soon.